Hey guys, welcome back to the lineup show. I appreciate you watching. Um, if you're into some NFL DFS, then hopefully you're going to like this channel. I'm going to go over the Thursday night showdown slate between the Denver Broncos um, and the Las Vegas Raiders. I should say the Las Vegas Raiders at the Denver Broncos. So should be an exciting game because it's my Broncos, and they've been playing really good football. But as far as the actual back and forth, I guess I don't know how well I see Las Vegas doing in this game, guys. I don't think they're gonna do much of anything. I don't like any of their matchups here at all. I'll just tell you that up front. And on top of that, they just traded Jacoby Myers to the Jaguars. So don't play Jacoby Myers in this if he's still on here. Okay, he is, but it says he's out, and it's got a big symbol there telling you don't pick me. That's basically, it's got the exclamation mark there. So yeah, guys, don't play Jacoby Myers. He will not get fantasy points because he's on the Jaguars. With that said, probably my favorite play of this week's Thursday night football game is going to be Bo Nix. He's averaging 21.1 fantasy points a game. The Raiders are 18th against the quarterback, 21st against the pass. And yeah, he should just do well in this game. I expect the Broncos to be on top pretty much the whole time. You do have Ashton Genty. It's going to be he and Brock Bowers are going to be my favorite out of the Raiders. My favorites to play, but I don't like either one of their matchups at all. Ashton Genty is in a spot against the Broncos where the Broncos are 5th against the running back. They are 8th against the pass. He only averages 15 fantasy points a game, which isn't terrible, but I don't expect him to get more than that in this game. I kind of expect him to get 10 to 15 fantasy points. I don't expect him to do more than that. Brock Bowers coming off of a huge game where he got 46.3 fantasy points last week against Jacksonville. But the Broncos are 8th against the tight end, and like we said, 6th against the pass. Actually, we didn't say that yet, but they are 6th against the pass. So I don't expect him to have a huge game, but I expect him to be the most to be the Raider that gets the most fantasy points in this game, probably. I think it's either between him and Genty, maybe Geno Smith, but I don't see Geno Smith getting a whole lot of points in this game at all. I definitely like Courtland Sutton here. Las Vegas is 28th against the wide receiver and 21st against the pass. He averages 13.7 fantasy points a game. I'm not going to lie. I think Troy Franklin I might like better. Perhaps not. But let's put it this way. Courtland Sutton has had 6 targets in the last 2 games. He did have 10 in week 7. Whereas Troy Franklin had 10 targets last week, and in week 8 he had 8 targets, and he also had 10 targets in week 7. It seems like to me, that Bo Nix likes to throw to Troy Franklin quite a bit. I don't know if it's going to matter as much in this game because I think Courtland Sutton will have a better matchup probably. The defense for the Raiders is just not good against the pass guys at all, and honestly, they're just not good. Yeah. So with that said, I like Courtland Sutton. I like Troy Franklin. Geno Smith, we can look at his matchup. Denver's 4th against the quarterback and 6th against the pass. I just don't like it. He's only averaging 14.3 a game anyways, so that's just not a good look for him. I want to like J.K. Dobbins here. The Raiders are 19th against the running back 16th against the rush. But he's only averaging 12.5 fantasy points a game. He has been getting, 14, 15 rush attempts. In week 5, he had 20 rush attempts. Week 4, he had 16. He's got plenty of rush attempts, but he hasn't had like a huge game yet. He's had some decent games. He does not get much receptions, however. And if you scroll down here, RJ Harvey has been getting receptions. He had 5 targets last week, 5 receptions on those 5 targets. I guess the previous 2 games before that he didn't do much, but in week 6 he had 4 targets. Week 5 he had 3. Week 4 he had 4. But if you're just going off of fantasy points, he averages less than J.K. Dobbins at 10.7, but the last 2 games he has done better. He got 16.6 in week 9 and 24.1 in week 8. And I definitely have had games where I played J.K. Dobbins and I regretted it because that happened twice where I played Dobbins and R.J. Harvey was the one who actually got the points, guys. So now we got Denver, their defense. And honestly, I thought that they would average more. They're averaging 7.7 fantasy points a game. It was higher before last week, and I think the last 3 weeks it's gone down a little bit. They were averaging there for a while, like 9 points a game, I think. Now it's down to 7.7. But I think they're definitely at play just because of how bad the Raiders have been playing. So I definitely think that they're at play. Will Lutz, I don't think he's going to be needed as much this week because I think they're going to get touchdowns. Now, he might get a lot of extra points, but he also is questionable due to an illness. He didn't practice Tuesday. Let's see. Yeah, it's unclear whether or not he's going to play. So if you do intend on playing him, you need to look somewhere and make sure that he's going to play for sure. Evan Ingram averages 6.8 fantasy points a game. I don't see this being a big game for him because the Raiders are 4th against the tight end. Marvin Mims, he has had some games where he's gone off, and this could be one of them because of the secondary being so bad for the Raiders. But with that said, he is also questionable. He was in concussion protocol, and just looking at what I'm seeing, it does not look like he's going to play to me, but look somewhere because he might. If you want to play him, check back in somewhere. He might actually play. There's no way I'm playing the Raiders defense here. I will say if Marvin Mims is out, Pat Bryant might be a good play here. And it was actually week 8 against Dallas where he caught that touchdown pass. And that was the week I had thought about playing him because he hadn't been doing much. And I'm like, this is the week he's going to. And I decided not to play him, and he got that touchdown pass. So, and he was dirt cheap to play. So it would have worked out. Michael Mayer, guys, I've liked playing him in the past, for sure. And he did have a good game in week 6. But I just don't like the matchup against the Broncos. So I don't see him doing much. But if you need a really cheap option, I guess maybe you could throw him in if you just needed a cheap option to throw in for the Raiders, because I really don't advise you playing many Raiders. I don't advise more than one, to be honest with you. But if they do anything, it's most likely going to be Genty, Bowers, or Smith. I am wanting, ever since that week 3 game where Trey Tucker got 43.9 fantasy points, I have been wanting him to go off and be big again. And now that Jacoby Myers is gone, perhaps he will. But I don't think it's going to be this week. So, anyways, I guess with that said, let's go ahead and make a lineup. And also, guys, Trent Sherfield Sr. might also get an uptick if Marvin Mims is out. I don't expect him to get a ton of action, but he definitely could get an uptick. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and make a lineup real quick. Gonna try to do Bo Nix at captain. Gonna try to do, probably gonna do Sutton. Kind of a toss-up between Genty and Bowers, but Bowers is cheaper. So I'm going to do Bowers as my one Raider. And then I'm going to do Troy Franklin. I want to play J.K. Dobbins, guys, but I think I'm just going to go the cheaper route and do Harvey. And then that would leave me with with the Trent Sherfield Sr. Do we want to do this? He's literally at 2.5 fantasy points. Oh, well, in week 5, he did have a couple games at the beginning of the season where he got 1.3 points. Yeah. I think I want to figure out how to play the Broncos defense as well. So I'm not sure if I'm going to take out like Cortland Sutton or Troy Franklin. I really don't want to take either of those guys out. Maybe would take out AJ Harvey and just play the Broncos defense. And I honestly am not thrilled about playing the Broncos defense, except for how poorly I expect the Raiders to do. So the Broncos really the last few games haven't averaged a ton of fantasy points defensively, but I just think in this game they could. But anyways, guys, I wish you the best for your lineup. And I hope you tune back in to watch again. Perhaps, if you want, you can subscribe if you like this at all. But anyways, I will catch you the next time. I thank you for watching, and you have a good one.